Vreau să vedem împreună interviul pe care Brian Brown ni l-a acordat în exclusivitate. Este președintele Alianței Internaționale a Familiilor, un apropiat al lui Mike Jones și al lui J.D. Vance. Este cel care a postat ieri și a atras atenția delegației americane că se află într-o capcană uriașă și că ambasadoarea Cavaleț îi folosește împotriva administrației Trump. Haideți să vedem.
I want to ask you, what can you tell me about your posts? What can you tell me about the American delegation that is in Romania in these days? Does it represent the interest of the Trump administration?
Well, I think there's some good people coming from Congress, but I was startled to learn that it looks like the U.S. Embassy and the ambassador was originally intending to have the members of Congress that were visiting visit mainly with the liberal and Soros supported types in Romania and not meeting with many of the conservative, pro-Trump, AUR party members of parliament and George Simeon. However, luckily that word did get out, and I know that there was a meeting today between some of the members of the delegation and George Simeon, and that's a very good thing. And I'm glad that there was a correction and that people listened in Congress. And I don't think that many of the conservative congressmen knew that they were being led to only meet with folks that don't really support America's interest.
Understood. And how do you see the cancellation of the presidential election in our country? The banning of the Călin Georgescu, do you think the next election will be recognized, for example, by United States?
Well, I think it's an absolute travesty and attack on basic democratic principles that Mr. Călin Georgescu...
For our democracy, yes.
For your democracy, of course, because Mr. Georgescu should be president, and it's absolute travesty. All of the machinations and all of the work that was done to just undermine and attack basic principles, and it's especially startling that this was coming from folks within the European Union. And I think that J.D. Vance's speech makes this very clear. Those are not our values. We do not share values with those that are going to undermine democracy, attack Mr. Georgescu, undermine the election, and just decide that they get to rule. That's not the way things work. And I'm very happy that Mr. George Simeon is doing so well. And I will tell you that American conservatives strongly support Mr. Simeon. He is a candidate that all of us who have had a chance to meet, and he's been in Washington, D.C., and I've had the chance to spend time with him. Across the board, people are so happy that you have a candidate now like Mr. Simeon, but we won't forget what happened to Mr. Georgescu and the attempts to undermine democracy in Romania. We won't forget that. We stand together with Romanian patriots. I think there's a bright future of Romanians and American patriots standing together. Those of us who support Trump, those of us who support Simeon, that this is a very historic opportunity to cement our relationship together and have each country stand up for its own interest and not be ruled by outside interest, whether it's the EU or anyone else. And so that's why I'm so proud to support George Simeon.
Okay, and do you think a firm message will be sent from the Trump administration regarding the presidential election in Romania?
Well, I do think a message has already been sent. The Munich security speech was one of the most important speeches by a vice president in decades. And twice in that speech, Vice President Vance referred to the canceled elections in Romania. I do think more is coming. I will say that. I do think that more actions and words are coming from the United States to support those political parties, to support those thinkers, to support those doers who stand up for our shared values. And one of those shared values that is fundamental is that you don't get to trash the votes of people just because you have a different view. You don't get to take the majority of citizens and act like you have the right to just throw aside their opinions. And I from what I've seen, I was just in Romania a few weeks ago. From what I've seen, people are rising up and they're saying enough's enough, and they want to see political leaders who value their opinion, who respect them. My great respect and support for George Simeon, and my great respect for Romania. And I hope that God can bless both America and Romania together.